What if the real reason you're struggling with intimacy after 60 has nothing to do with desire, and everything to do with your circulation? I'm Dr. Justin Keller. I'm a urologist, and today I'm going to show you something most men over 60 have never heard. One natural drink that can boost performance faster than you think, plus the foods, habits, and mistakes that either make it work or cancel it out completely. We'll cover the science behind erections after 60, most doctors don't explain. A natural drink urologists now recommend for fast, powerful results. Everyday foods that quietly supercharge your performance. Common mistakes that undo all your efforts. And the emotional truth most men are never told about staying intimate and confident as we age. If you're serious about feeling more capable, more energized, and more connected again, stay with me. The very first habit we discuss might be the most surprising, and it's something you've probably been doing wrong for years. And I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments. I read everyone. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age so I can keep bringing you real, helpful lessons like this. Without hype, without shame. The hidden link between circulation and erections after 60. What if I told you the real reason you're struggling in the bedroom after 60 has almost nothing to do with testosterone and everything to do with your blood vessels? I'm Dr. Justin Keller. I've spent nearly 2 decades working with men over 60, and I can tell you firsthand, most of the men who come to me thinking they have performance issues actually have something much simpler, but more dangerous going on. It's their circulation. See, when you're younger, your arteries are like flexible garden hoses. Blood moves through easily. That's why erections are firm, fast, and reliable. But after 60, those hoses start to stiffen. The lining of your blood vessels, called the endothelium, begins to wear down. And when that happens, blood flow slows. You might still have desire, but your body can't keep up. What should be a pressure-based response turns into a frustrating delay, or nothing at all. Here's the thing most people don't realize. An erection is actually a cardiovascular event. It's not magic, it's biology. To get and maintain an erection, your body needs a sudden surge of blood into the penis. That requires open arteries, relaxed blood vessels, and smooth communication between the brain and the body. But when arteries are narrowed, because of aging, inflammation, or years of eating the wrong foods, your blood can't get where it needs to go fast enough. It's like trying to blow up a balloon with a clogged straw. The intention is there, but the tools aren't working right. And here's where it gets critical. ED, erectile dysfunction, is often the first warning sign of heart disease. I've diagnosed more early heart issues from ED complaints than from chest pain. That's how closely connected your performance is to your vascular health. Many men over 60 chalk this up to aging or low libido, and they go straight to testosterone supplements. But in most cases, the real culprit is endothelial dysfunction, when the blood vessels can no longer dilate the way they should. What causes this? Years of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, even stress and poor sleep all damage the delicate lining of your arteries. It doesn't happen overnight. But by the time you're in your 60s or 70s, that slow damage starts showing up in ways you can't ignore. And here's the good news. Unlike testosterone levels, which are harder to fix naturally at that age, blood flow can be improved, sometimes dramatically, by making the right choices. I've had patients in their late 60s who simply changed their diet, walked every day, and added a few key natural habits, who came back saying they hadn't felt this capable in years. If you take away just one thing from this, your performance is not just a bedroom issue. It's a blood flow issue, and that means it's a health issue. The sooner you treat it like one, the sooner you'll start seeing real results, not just physically, but emotionally, relationally, and even mentally. And yes, there's one natural drink that can help jumpstart this process faster than most people believe. We're getting to that. But without understanding this first, how blood flow works, why it slows down, and what it really means, you're just putting a band-aid on a much bigger problem. Let's fix the foundation, not just the symptoms. The fast-acting natural drink urologists recommend. When men come into my office frustrated and sometimes embarrassed, they usually ask for a quick fix. A little blue pill, a supplement, something over-the-counter they can take tonight. But what if I told you there's a natural drink, backed by solid clinical research? That doesn't just give you results fast, but actually supports your entire vascular system long-term. That drink is beetroot juice. Now I know what you're thinking. Beets? Really? Yes, and here's why. Beetroot juice is one of the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates. When you drink it, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes and dilates blood vessels. This process is called vasodilation. It's exactly what prescription ED medications try to mimic, only with synthetic chemicals and side effects. But beetroot juice? It works with your body, not against it. In fact, a study published in the American Journal of Physiology showed that a single serving of beetroot juice could increase nitric oxide levels in the blood within just 45 minutes. That's not theory. That's measurable biochemistry. Another study out of the UK looked at older men, ages 60 to 75, who consumed beetroot juice daily. After just a few weeks, their blood pressure dropped, their endurance improved, and yes, many reported enhanced erectile quality. Not because the drink was magic, but because their blood flow was finally working like it used to. Here's what I recommend to my patients. Start with half a glass of beetroot juice in the morning and another half glass 1 to 2 hours before intimacy. Always on an empty stomach because you want fast absorption. And make sure it's pure beetroot juice, not the sugary blends from the supermarket. If it's too earthy for your taste, add a squeeze of lemon or a bit of ginger to lighten it up. And no, you don't need to drink it forever to see results. Many men notice a difference in blood flow and energy within a few days. But consistency matters. Think of it like priming your engine before a long drive. You're giving your arteries what they need to open up and perform. There's also a secondary benefit. Beetroot juice increases stamina, not just in the bedroom, but throughout your day. More energy to walk, to move, to live. It's a gentle, natural way to fight back against the sluggishness that often comes with age. Now, I should say this. If you're taking medications for blood pressure or blood thinners, always talk to your doctor before adding beetroot to your daily routine. It's powerful. That's a good thing, but it still needs to be used wisely. What I love about recommending this is that it doesn't just treat symptoms. It improves your whole system. We're not talking about short-term sparks. We're talking about building the foundation for a healthier, stronger body, inside and out. Men over 60 are not broken. Your body is still incredibly capable. Sometimes it just needs a little help to get back into rhythm. Beetroot juice is one of the fastest, safest ways I've found to do exactly that. Supporting foods that supercharge the effect. Beetroot juice is powerful on its own. But if you really want to maximize its effects, especially after 60, you need to look at what else you're putting on your plate. The truth is, no drink, natural or not, can compete with a poor diet. But pair the right foods with beetroot juice, and now you're working with your body, not against it. Let's start with leafy greens. Spinach, arugula, and Swiss chard are some of the most nitrate-rich foods you can eat. Just like beetroot, your body converts the nitrates in these greens into nitric oxide, improving circulation and helping you maintain stronger, more reliable erections. The bonus: these vegetables are also packed with magnesium, which helps relax blood vessels and lower blood pressure, both critical for healthy performance. Next is fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and improve endothelial function. That's the inner lining of your blood vessels, the part most responsible for triggering that rapid blood flow we talked about earlier. When your endothelium is healthy, your entire cardiovascular system works better. And that includes the arteries that feed the pelvic region. Another food I recommend to almost every man over 60: walnuts. They're full of L-arginine, an amino acid your body uses to produce, you guessed it, nitric oxide. Just a small handful a day can make a noticeable difference, not only in performance but also in energy and focus. L-arginine, when combined with natural nitrates, acts like a 1-2 punch for blood flow. Now let's talk about one you probably didn't expect: dark chocolate. Not the sugary kind. Look for at least 70% cacao. Dark chocolate contains flavonoids, which help repair damaged arteries and improve circulation. Plus, it has a mild effect on mood and stress levels, which, let's face it, plays a bigger role in performance than most people realize. A small square after dinner isn't indulgence, it's smart strategy. Also on the list, watermelon. It contains citrulline, a compound that your body converts into, you guessed it again, arginine, which supports nitric oxide production. I've had older patients who couldn't tolerate beet juice but found watermelon juice to be a gentler, more palatable option. Combine it with a squeeze of lime and a pinch of sea salt, and you've got a delicious, circulation-boosting drink. Now here's the part most men don't think about, digestion. If your gut isn't absorbing nutrients well, all this food won't do much. That's why I often recommend a simple probiotic or fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, or even plain Greek yogurt. When your gut is healthy, your body can actually use the nutrients you give it, and that's when results show up. But while we're on the topic of food, let me give you a warning. Avoid heavy, greasy meals, especially right before intimacy. Fatty meals, especially deep-fried or processed foods, divert blood to your digestive system and away from where you need it most. And they spike insulin, which can dull your body's response to nitric oxide. I've seen patients lose all progress from one bad meal. If you're serious about boosting performance and energy naturally, your plate matters just as much as your mindset. Start by adding, not restricting. Add the greens. Add the healthy fats. Add the flavonoids. These aren't just foods, they're fuel. Fuel for circulation, for stamina, for confidence. Remember, at this age, everything is connected. Energy, intimacy, even mood. It all starts with what you feed your body. You give it the right tools, it knows exactly what to do. Common mistakes that cancel out the benefits. I've seen it too many times. A patient comes in excited saying, "Doc, I've been drinking the beet juice, eating my greens, walking every morning, but nothing's happening." And when I start asking questions, I find out they're unknowingly doing a few things that are completely canceling out the progress. So let's talk about those hidden saboteurs. Because if you're over 60 and trying to reclaim your energy and performance, you don't have time to waste. Mistake number 1, using alcohol to relax before intimacy. I get it. A glass of wine or a nightcap can take the edge off. But physiologically, alcohol is a depressant. It interferes with the signals between your brain and body. Worse, it dehydrates you, which constricts blood vessels, the exact opposite of what we're trying to achieve. Even 1 or 2 drinks can undo hours of good nutrition and preparation. If you're relying on alcohol to create connection, it's worth having a deeper conversation with your partner or a professional. Mistake number 2, not drinking enough water. This sounds so simple it's easy to ignore. But proper hydration is essential for nitric oxide production, nutrient absorption, and healthy circulation. Dehydration thickens your blood, puts stress on your heart, and reduces blood flow everywhere, including where it counts most. I tell my patients, if your lips are dry, your performance will be too. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, especially if you're adding nitrate-rich foods or supplements. They need water to be processed properly. Mistake number 3. Continuing medications that block blood flow without talking to your doctor. Beta blockers, some antidepressants, and even over-the-counter antihistamines can interfere with your vascular response or lower libido. This doesn't mean you should stop your meds, but you should have a conversation about them. Sometimes there are alternatives that are more performance-friendly. Never assume side effects are just part of aging. Often they're fixable. Mistake number 4. Overloading on processed sugar and high-sodium foods. These directly damage your blood vessels and spike inflammation. That inflammation reduces your body's ability to produce and respond to nitric oxide. Worse, it leads to insulin resistance, which has been strongly linked to erectile dysfunction. A donut in the morning or a frozen dinner at night might seem harmless, but over time, they erode your circulation, energy, and drive. Mistake number 5. Expecting results too quickly, or expecting only physical fixes to solve deeper issues. This is a big one. If you're dealing with stress, resentment, grief, or disconnection from your partner, no drink or diet in the world is going to change that overnight. The men I see make the biggest improvements aren't just changing what's on their plate. They're also working on their relationships, their stress, their mindset. You can't separate the body from the heart. And finally, a more subtle mistake. Inconsistency. You can't treat this like a temporary fix. Your blood vessels respond to what you do every day, not what you did yesterday. That means showing up daily with the right foods, the right habits, and the right mindset. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't wait until they hurt, you keep them clean so they stay healthy. Same with your arteries, same with your performance. The good news, every single one of these mistakes is correctable. You don't need perfection, you need awareness. Catch these early and you'll start seeing results that are not only stronger, but that actually last. The emotional and relationship side of male vitality. Let me tell you something I've learned after working with hundreds of men over 60. The body rarely fails before the heart does. We spend so much time talking about blood flow, hormones, diet, and yes, all of that matters. But what often gets left out of the conversation is what's going on emotionally, relationally, deep beneath the surface. And I can't tell you how many times a man has sat across from me asking for help with performance, when what he really needs is help reconnecting with himself and with his partner. Here's the truth. Intimacy after 60 isn't the same as it was at 30, and that's not a bad thing. At 30, it was physical, urgency, drive, chemistry, but now it's about something richer, presence, trust, emotional safety. And yet the pressure to perform still hangs over so many men like a weight they can't shake. If you're watching this and you felt that pressure, the fear of letting someone down, the shame of not being who you used to be, I want you to hear this. There's nothing broken about you. You haven't failed. You've changed. And that change deserves respect, not embarrassment. One of the most damaging myths we've carried into older age is the idea that masculinity equals performance. That if your body doesn't respond a certain way, it means you're losing your value as a man. But real masculinity, real strength, shows up in vulnerability, in listening, in being emotionally present. That's what makes intimacy meaningful at this stage of life. And here's where it gets practical. I always encourage men to talk with their partners, not just about what's happening physically, but about what's happening emotionally. Too often, couples drift into silence. They stop touching not because they don't care, but because they're afraid. Afraid to say the wrong thing, afraid to expose what they're feeling. And in that silence, connection starts to fade. But intimacy begins long before you're in the bedroom. It starts with a look, a laugh, a shared memory. It starts with asking your partner a simple question that breaks the ice. How can I make you feel close to me today? That kind of openness does more for your relationship and your performance than any pill ever will. I've seen marriages of 40 years reignite because one partner decided to be vulnerable, to talk, to listen. I've also seen men who were completely physically healthy but couldn't perform because their minds were filled with fear, self-doubt, or unresolved grief. When we worked through those emotions, suddenly the body followed. Not through medication, but through connection. This isn't about therapy. It's about being human, about recognizing that our sexual health is tied directly to our emotional health, and that you deserve to feel wanted, confident, and connected at any age. So yes, drink the beet juice. Eat the right foods, exercise, but don't forget to look your partner in the eyes, to hold their hand, to speak honestly about how you're feeling. Because at the end of the day, no physical fix will ever replace the power of feeling truly seen, heard, and loved. That's the real fuel for vitality, and it's never too late to find it. Gentle lifestyle habits that make the effects last. Here's what most men over 60 don't realize. You don't need intense workouts or drastic changes to feel stronger, more energized, and more capable in your intimate life. In fact, the most effective routines I've seen are simple, sustainable, and gentle on the body. They're habits you can build into your day without strain, yet they create lasting results. Let's start with walking. Just 20 to 30 minutes a day of steady walking can transform circulation. When you walk, your heart pumps more efficiently, your blood vessels stay flexible, and nitric oxide production increases. It's not about speed. It's about consistency. Some of my patients walk after dinner with their spouse. It becomes a ritual. They connect emotionally while improving blood flow. It supports not just physical health, but relationship health too. Next is breathing. Specifically, deep diaphragmatic breathing. Why? Because stress is one of the most common and underestimated causes of erectile dysfunction. When your body is stuck in fight or flight mode, your blood vessels constrict, cortisol floods your system, and your brain signals shut down reproductive functions. It's a survival response. But just 5 minutes of deep, slow breathing every morning or before bed can reset your nervous system. I often recommend a simple pattern. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. That longer exhale calms your heart rate and lowers blood pressure. It's free, it's powerful, and it works. Another habit I recommend to nearly every man over 60, pelvic floor exercises. Yes, Kegels, these aren't just for women. Strengthening the pelvic floor improves control, stamina, and the quality of your erections. The muscles involved support the base of the penis, and when they're strong, blood stays where it's supposed to. To try it, tighten the muscles you'd use to stop urinating midstream. Hold for 5 seconds, relax, and repeat 10 times. Do that twice a day. No one will know you're doing it, but the benefits are real and noticeable. Let's talk about sleep. It's not just rest, it's repair. During deep sleep, your body balances hormones, repairs blood vessels, and restores sexual function. I've had patients whose performance improved just by improving sleep quality. That means going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, limiting screens before bed, and keeping your room dark and cool. Avoid caffeine late in the day, and if you snore or wake up gasping, get screened for sleep apnea. Poor sleep destroys testosterone and blood flow, but it's also fixable. Lastly, let's not forget purpose and joy. Men who stay socially connected, who laugh, who feel a sense of meaning, they stay energized, they heal faster, they perform better. This might mean volunteering, mentoring, gardening, joining a group, or simply spending time with grandchildren. The point is, your vitality is not just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. The men I see who glow at 70 and 80 aren't just eating right. They're engaged with life. So if you've been doing the drink, changing your food, and still want to feel stronger and more alive, this is where the real transformation happens. Small daily actions, walking, breathing, sleeping, strengthening, connecting. It's not about pushing harder. It's about supporting your body in the ways it needs most at this stage of life. Do that and you don't just see results, you sustain them. You build a foundation not just for better performance, but for a fuller, richer life. And that, more than anything, is what makes you glow at any age. You don't need pills, gimmicks, or embarrassment to feel strong again. Your body is still capable. You just need to give it the right tools, naturally, consistently, and with the respect it deserves. Beetroot juice, daily walking, the right foods, deep sleep, real connection. None of it is complicated, but it all matters. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about living this phase of life with strength, confidence, and peace. If this helped you, like the video and subscribe to Glowing Age. It helps more than you think. And if you've made even one change from what you learned today, let me know in the comments. Your story matters and someone else might need to hear it. I'm Dr. Justin Keller. Thanks for spending this time with me. Stay strong, stay steady, and keep glowing.